Hey, everybody! Welcome to Hey, We're Talking. That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Scotty D?
That was a different intro.
I agree with you, Scott. That was weird.
It was. It was very weird. Derek Tant, Bob Peel, both here. Hello, gentlemen.
Well, hello.
I feel like I should do that thing like when you're doing a YouTube video, you have to really use your hands a lot. Do like things to make people understand that you're talking to them. Make sure you use your hands a lot.
I do in other
do you
videos.
Do that? Derek, you do that?
I'm very expressive.
Yeah, that's a form of expressing yourself.
Hey, forget about it.
Like here, I don't do it like here on the microphone, but when I'm normally talking to people, yeah, I
use your hands
express myself with your hands. Yeah, I do.
Interesting. I find all this very fascinating, gentlemen. Welcome to the broadcast. We're going to not goof around a whole bunch at the beginning. Let's just get right to the topic. And the topic at hand is this. I read a story. Where California is going to start taxing text messages.
Yes, they want to. They're not going to. They want to.
Listen, it's California.
They've got to see if they could pass it.
They're going to do it. Don't you worry. They're going to make people in California pay extra taxes for their text messages. Why are they going to do that, Bob?
To generate revenue for basically homeless people.
So they want.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. So people that don't have the means to pay for phones and stuff, this tax will help them get their own phones, correct?
Yeah, not only that, but it'll also like help with homeless shelters and things of that nature.
So that's how they're disguising it, is that they're going to help people with your taxes.
Yeah. I thought it was to help like underprivileged people who didn't have access to phones have phones. And
Didn't Obama already take care of that?
And what I read was that their annual revenue from their annual tax revenue from the telecommunications industry went from like $15 billion to $11 billion.
Right.
So they're just trying to find ways to get more money out of them. Is really it. And so they want to do like a text message, like a flat charge, because whatever. I think it just kind of opens the door to, let's have a standing around charge. Let's have you have a couch. Let's have a sit down on the couch charge.
Man, I'm going to pay so many taxes for the sit on the couch charge. Go ahead.
Well, Bob. In the state of Illinois, they're talking about raising the gas tax 20 to 30 cents per gallon.
Gosh, dude.
So, really, right now, they've already got about a 40-cent tax or a 34-cent tax per gallon. Mm-hmm. So they want to make it like 50 to 60 cents a gallon in taxes.
Interesting.
And that's supposed to go for the roads and a huge transportation infrastructure. But I believe that's why we have so many toll roads already. So I'm kind of confused by it. And there should be some state or some federal funding for a lot of this stuff as well. So I just don't get it. So my local mayor does not. He's opposed to the tax. But this is being brought up and led by Rob Emanuel or whatever. Rob Emanuel.
Haven't they gotten him out of there yet?
Not yet.
How in the heck is that guy still a mayor in Chicago?
I don't know.
It's like a war zone there, dude.
No, nobody really likes him. He's just fulfilling his term, and then he'll be out. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't get the fact that, something I said is to a lot of different people when we brought this up is just, when at what point does the state say, hey, we should manage our budget and do our thing instead of just taxing people? Illinois actually has more people than any other state leaving.
Yeah.
More than any other state.
Why would you stay there if they're just going to keep raising taxes on it? I mean, they've already made it it's almost impossible to get out of there pretty soon when that house tax thing kicks in.
Well, they're talking about creating a leave tax. So if you leave the state, you get taxed.
You can't even.
I don't know how they would enforce that.
They'll trust me. If it's taxes,
they're gonna have a bouncer at the border.
But if you think about this, if I have an income in the state of Illinois and I move to Indiana, halfway through the year, they're going to tax me different.
Yep.
Because I now reside in a different state.
Yep.
So when I file my taxes that first year, they'll slap a penalty onto it, basically.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds criminal.
And Illinois does have the death tax as well.
That's
that when you
another
die-
one that is
When you
just
die, all your crap gets taxed.
that is unbelievable. That is one of those ones where you're just like, so let me get this straight. Let's pretend like your grandpa worked his tail off, built up his money and all this kind of stuff. He wants to leave it to his grandkids. He dies, and I think that it's like 40% tax.
Yeah, I don't
Death
remember.
tax. It's
what
like
percentage
35 to
it is,
40%. It's crazy. They're going to take half his money when he's dead.
Yep.
40%.
That's why Grandpa's got to give me money before
Derek.
he dies.
Derek,
Uh-oh.
listen, that's a lot of money to be having taken away from you after you die. It's ridiculous.
Somebody's got to pay for these roads.
Oh my gosh. They have listen. It's going to start happening here in Michigan now because we got a Democrat governor, and her whole platform was "fix the damn roads" was her slogan. Let's just fix the damn roads, and so she won. And I'm going to tell you right now, I highly doubt she's going to fix the roads because
But y'all got y'all's weed.
we did get weed. I think
just
that's
smoke
part
weed
of,
and stay home.
I think that's part of the reason that she won is like all the pot smokers came out and voted for her. Anyway, but there have been governors before her that have promised the same thing. Let's just fix the roads, and they never do anything. There's a thing that happens in Michigan too. I feel like, you know how like states also have to like find certain contractors that are, you know, they got to go for like the minority contract. I'm not
Right.
trying to, but you know, they will sometimes give more leverage to somebody who doesn't have as much experience, blah, blah,
Right.
blah, which is fine. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but a lot of times I feel like the people they hire to do these jobs, they use like really crappy products so that they'll get called back in like 2 years to fix the roads again. It's crazy. And in Michigan, like other states, they have laws stopping trucks of certain weights going on the roads. In Michigan, there'll be like these grooves in the roads from trucks that are heavier than in most states. I think you can drive in Michigan heavier loads than you can in other states.
Yeah, it just depends on what type of year or what time of the year. So
Okay.
When the roads in Michigan get cold and it's a certain temperature, there's a different weight restriction on those roads. But I mean, all the roads out here have the same thing, the same
okay.
groove cut into them because, you know, trucks are running down this when you've got 400, 500, 1,000 trucks running down the same path
Yeah.
every single day. It's going to
So it just
create
basically
those grooves in
smushes
the
it.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, over time, it just smushes it, whether the truck is overweight or at weight or anything. So it's just, that's how it is. I
Okay.
just don't get how we don't have enough money for all that stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm just sick of being taxed to death.
Derek, what about Texas? Are the roads bad? No.
Some places. It's not
No.
too bad.
Have you driven around in a really bad roads place like Michigan? Have you ever driven on the roads here?
I've never been to Michigan.
You
Never
need
been
to
to
you
Illinois.
need to be able to drive on roads in Michigan. I bet you Bob's roads are not that bad. I bet you yours are nice. Are they good?
No.
No?
No.
Even with toll roads, you don't have good roads?
No.
Not even the toll roads are good?
The toll roads are good because basically they were just rebuilt.
Right.
But other than that, I mean, even parts of the toll roads are terrible. It just depends on what toll road you're on. We have so many of them. Just depends on which one you're on. We have a stretch of I-80. I-80 is the main highway that goes east-west right through Indiana, Illinois, all the way. It'll take you all the way out to California if you follow it. And the stretch where I live was actually built in the 50s, and all they've done is kind of resurfaced it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we right where I live, we have they've actually built several new rail yards. So now truck traffic has increased by 1,000%.
Okay.
But they've never upgraded any of the highway roads or anything like that. So we've got this huge stretch of road that's, let's say, 5 miles long. There's constantly, every single day, there's an accident on this road. Every single day.
Wow.
And like an accident to where people are dying.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can relate
horrible.
to that in this highly entertaining subject we're talking about.
But the thing is, it may not be highly entertaining, but a lot of people are probably dealing with the same thing. And people from other countries, their roads may be perfect or absolutely terrible, just like we have.
Well, I live in the Permian Basin of West Texas, and we are known, and we've been known for the oil field. We have a lot of oil here.
Yeah.
And with these new drilling techniques and whatnot, we're finding we can re-drill in the same spots and get more oil.
Yeah.
And so with the prices that are still kind of up there, we have a lot of people. Our towns are growing. These cities are growing, and we just we can't expand the infrastructure enough. 40 miles to the west is the city of Midland, Texas, home of the Bushes. Everybody's heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I hate going to Midland because the interstate is packed with oil field traffic. I mean, I have to travel that way 20 miles to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just loaded with oil field traffic. The city of Midland, the city of Odessa, it's just overcrowded. It's overloaded. There's too much traffic, and they're just not able to expand the infrastructure. And it's a nightmare to get around, and it's a nightmare to just be there. I'd rather go further away to handle my business than to go there, just because it's terrible.
Do you have, though, like in Texas, is there always construction? Is there always?
It feels like it.
So it sounds
feels
like
it
everybody has that then.
Oh, yeah.
On the interstate, there's always something going on. Like for the last 3 years, on that little 20-mile stretch of road between where I live and where I work, there's always something going on.
There's got to be somebody that can figure this thing out. Like, I guess the thing I think when, like when Bob's talking about Illinois and some of this stuff, it's like, and we're talking about California, you as an individual could never live and operate the way the government, state government and federal governments, even the local governments sometimes operate. They don't live within any type of means. It's basically just, oh, we need more. Oh, we'll just squeeze. I just think about what they're doing to these people in California. It's like you're a sponge and they're just squeezing a little bit more out of you.
They need one of Bob's spreadsheets to get on budget.
They will never be on budget ever. It's impossible. Government is just the biggest pain in the butt. I know there's certain things we need it for, but good grief, man. Why do you got to keep taking?
Be balance.
Yeah, why do you?
There needs to be balance. There really should be balance. I mean, we definitely need the military. We need somebody to administer the roads, and the national infrastructure needs to be managed. Industry needs to be regulated somewhat so that there's no more robber barons and monopolies. But I think it's over-regulated now rather than under, and it's very taxing. That's
a great word for it.
It consumes a lot of resources, and it's bad. But whatever.
I actually think that's one thing that Trump has talked about, that a lot of people, they consider him to be this conservative, but he's talked about doing an infrastructure bill that would actually be good for the country, because we've got roads and bridges that have been neglected for so long. It's like sometimes you see a bridge that you're about to go over and you're just like, man, that thing does not look great.
Yeah, there's an overpass in the town I work that has been deemed unfit to use, and they're going to have to tear it down. They cannot fix it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That stuff is happening. It's like all over the country. It's like that. I've heard there's been news stories that I've seen where chunks of bridges have fallen off in the middle of like rush hour traffic and crushed people's cars and stuff. And it's like, okay, it might be time to fix some of this stuff. Hey, speaking of, I got stuck. How often does this happen to you guys? I got stuck by a train the other day going somewhere. Now, I didn't have to be anywhere at a certain time, but I was looking around. It was kind of at like the morning rush hours, like 7:30 in the morning. And just looking at the faces of the people around me that were probably headed for work, they looked so like, and I was just like, man, because this train, it was moving. It wasn't standing still. It took 10 minutes for it to go by. I mean, it was like at a really slow pace going by.
Right.
How often do you guys get caught by trains where you live? Ever?
I don't get caught by the train. Our train runs parallel to the interstate.
Okay.
And so sometimes it'll zigzag underneath the interstate, but
Okay.
I don't usually travel. There are crossings that I see, but I don't get caught by them.
Bob, you ever get caught?
Yeah, I've got a train tracks out the backside of my neighborhood. So usually I go out the front side of the neighborhood, but it does. If I go out the back way, I'll get stuck by a train, and these are the ones that'll stop.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you get stuck, it's at least 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, dude.
So that's why I try not to go out that way out of the neighborhood. What sucks is if I'm going to Menards, that's a quick way. It's 2 minutes to get to Menards unless you get hit by a train.
Don't get hit by a train. Then you're never getting to
It's going to take
Menards.
a lot longer. But if you get stuck by a train, yeah, it could take you forever.
Hey, Menards, if you want to sponsor it's been a while since we've done that. If you want to sponsor the program, let us know.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, we're talking at gmail.com.
11% rebate. So I don't know if you guys heard, and this I'm saying it because you're in Texas, Derek, but you guys hear that Apple's going to create a $1 billion campus in Austin, Texas?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I heard about that today.
Austin seems to be blowing up right now. There's a lot of stuff going on in Austin.
Well, that's where I did a lot of my training when I worked for Apple. I didn't go to Austin, but Austin is considered like Apple South because that's one of their other places where they have a lot of people. Tons of the people that do like tech. What's that when you're the? I can't even remember what I did.
Tech support?
Yes, tech support. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
they're
you,
actually
Derek.
creating offices in Seattle, San Diego, and Culver City, California.
Why are they building anything in Seattle? It rains
I don't
9
know.
months out of the year there.
Well, maybe they'll have maybe their whole operation will be ran off of water,
Rainwater.
like a windmill.
Yeah.
And as it turns, it powers up the whole plant. That would be great.
We have tons of windmills here.
So
Yeah.
according to Apple, the top 5 most downloaded apps of 2018. You guys want to throw any of them?
Where is this coming from? Just because you talked about Apple? Are you thinking?
Yeah.
Are you thinking you need to fill in time? Because we're almost out of time. You can tell us what the top 5 apps are. Go ahead.
At the end of the show, I'm aware of that, but I just figured I'd give you guys a guess.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Are those you said top 5 paid apps or
YouTube?
free?
No, just most downloaded apps of 2018.
Oh, 2018.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about 1979.
Go ahead. What are they?
YouTube, number 1, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook Messenger, and Facebook.
Okay.
So 3 of them are owned by Facebook. That's nice.
So hop on your smartphone and go to pneumacoffee.com, PNEUMA coffee.com. Get yourself some coffee. Put in that coupon code HWT, 20% off. Get you some coffee.
I'm making the coffee.
All right, we're going to wrap up the show for today. If you live in a state that gets taxed to death, feel free to let us know. And even if you don't, let's be
Sorry,
real.
it wasn't funny.
How are your roads? That's what I want to know. Seriously.
Who?
I mean,
mine or Derek's?
people from around the country, people in other
He
countries.
was asking the viewer or
Okay.
the listener, Scott.
How are your roads?
I gotcha. Man, these guys they don't give me like an inch
I was agreeing with you all show.
until the end, and then you blew it.
I wasn't disagreeing with you. I was just
gosh.
clarifying
Okay.
Bob's position because he was talking to the listeners. He wasn't addressing you or me.
Thank
Wow. You guys make me smile.
All right. We will talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Crash Mods.